The words just have a lot of meaning for me. So we say good morning again to our family virtually that is joining us here at the Monterey Center for Spiritual Living. We're excited that you have chosen to spend your Sunday morning with us. We'd invite you, if you are a first-time viewer, to drop a note in the chat to let us know where it is that you are viewing from. We appreciate that, and it just helps us to just get a little better idea of where we are reaching out. And if you are inspired by the message today, I invite you to share it with your friends and with your neighbors. And please make sure to hit the like button. It helps us to know that we are reaching out. We're continuing our January theme, which is Root and Reboot. And our topic today is singing in gratitude. I begin with this little metaphor. Life is like many moments that are strewn together just like a garland. Live one moment at a time in love, in truth, and in gratitude. And your life will become like an never-ending festival. And this is from Sancheta Pandre, an Indian singer and lyricist. Today, we conclude our review of part 4 of the Introduction to the Science of Mind textbook by focusing on how to use it. Ernest Holmes begins this section of the textbook by saying, one of the great difficulties in the new order of thought is that we are likely to indulge in much more theory and too little practice. As a matter of fact, we only know how much as we can, proven by actual demonstration. And when I read this, I had a flashback to the time that I spent in the business world. And I remember after sitting in marathon meetings where they would hash and rehash and rehash, we would walk out and just kind of shake our heads and say, oh, that was another wasted experience in the analysis of paralysis or paralysis of analysis, whichever way that goes. But anyway, we would walk away somewhat, just asking, why did we spend so much time in this meeting talking about theory rather than just going ahead and practicing it and working out whatever little bugs there are as we went along? Throughout this section of the textbook, Ernest establishes the connection and the importance of science and spirituality, each one supporting the other through demonstrations. And he wrote, we realize we're working with causation and original cause, a subtle power of mind and spirit, a fluent force. And this is on page 53, paragraph 2. And he concludes by saying, true thought deals directly with first cause, and this science is the study of first cause, spirit, or the truth, that invisible essence, the ultimate stuff and intelligence from which everything comes, the power back of creation. And this is also on page 60, paragraph 4, in the section, The Thing Itself. And so as we delve more into the study of first cause and causation, we'll look at gratitude, which is our focus for today. Gratitude is one of the fundamental spiritual practices in our teaching. We teach that God is all there is, and it makes sense to say thank you regularly. There's a lot caught up in gratitude. We may feel that we aren't being grateful enough. We may have judgment around other people's level of gratitude. And it may even be hard to overcome a feeling of gratitude in our own daily lives. When we give thanks, we are purifying our emotional response to life by focusing on love and leaving fear, doubt, worry, shame, and blame behind. This quote is from Diane Harmony in The 5 Gifts of an Abundant Life. And then Jake Owensby, an Episcopal bishop, offers this: the kingdom is wherever God's love is, shaking things up and bringing things to new life. And we've certainly had that experience recently with our atmospheric rains. A lot has been shaken up and a lot is being brought to life. In fact, I have a planter that I have on the little porch area right outside my apartment. And I think I had a plant in there and took it out, but I've left the dirt in this little pot. And after all of the rains, I'm seeing blossoms coming through. And so I have no idea what was in there, but it's going to be exciting to see the new life that is coming forth. This is part of the shaking up. Bishop Owensby continues, we are the hands, the feet, the heart of God in this world. We are the ones who God is calling to disturb things until they are made right, to stir up the waters, to go up the river and make a change. We're the ones who God is calling to court holy disruption, to level the playing field for all. And I think this quote really ties in with the teachings of Science of Mind, which is very apparent in what he is saying to us, that God is calling us to something greater. God is calling us to do bigger and better things in our lives. And it is through our gift and our expression of gratitude that we become more open at the top to be that place where God shows up and to know that I am the place where God shows up. In Science of Mind, we practice affirmative prayer or spiritual mind treatment as our prayer technology. And as we actively engage in our prayer work, we know the truth for ourselves and we know the truth for others. Our goal is to declare the truth with conviction. And we benefit immensely from our spiritual mind treatment, from our prayer work, when we express gratitude. That is one of the elements in the treatment, in the 5 steps of treatment. We begin with recognition, the recognition that God is all there is. We begin with the unity, knowing that I am one with God. We declare whatever it is that we're choosing to experience in our life. And then we seal that with gratitude. We give thanks in advance for the demonstration, even though we do not see it. We give thanks knowing that it is already done. This is a key component of our spiritual mind treatment. And then we release that back into the universe. We let it go. We let God, we let the intelligence of the universe do its work. There is something in this attitude of thanksgiving that carries us beyond the field of doubt into one of perfect faith and acceptance, receptivity, and realization. And this is from 365 Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. One may ask, why do we express gratitude for something that has not yet manifested in our external experience? And the response is that we have faith. We have faith that we have called into being what is already underway in the one mind. We say sometimes in our spiritual mind treatment, in the unification step, that I am an inlet and an outlet into the mind of God. There is no separation there. The level of gratitude is deep and profound and solidifies our consciousness. It's one thing to declare the truth with conviction, and yet it's quite another to give thanks for something that has not yet manifested. And yet, this is precisely what we are called to do. We also recognize that there may be some impediments to gratitude that can be seen where we feel that where we engage in complaining, fault finding, and talking about what we have taken for granted. Our level of gratitude is a vital part of our experience. Our attitude of gratitude is a vital part of our experience. And a grateful heart appreciates all the good that flows, and in so doing, creates an open vessel for more to pour in. There's an expression that we use sometimes that says, what we praise, we raise. And what we are grateful for, what we're grateful for is actually where we focus our thoughts and our attention. And I know for myself, when I am living in that place of gratitude, when I am living in that place of thankfulness and gratefulness, more comes to me. Whatever I'm focusing my thought on from a place of gratitude, more of that shows up in my life. A little example to share with you, a little humor of how this attitude of gratitude and giving thanks for something in advance works. A grandma and her grandson were at the beach. He's playing in the water and she is standing on the shore, and all of a sudden a huge wave appears out of nowhere and crashes onto the spot where the grandson is wading in the water. The water recedes and the boy is no longer there. He's been swept away. The grandma, being a person of faith, being a good metaphysician, creates a mental equivalent of her grandson playing on the beach. She sees what is not seen. She releases all worry about his absence and fully expects that he will be returned to her. She expresses her gratitude in her prayer for his safe return and concludes the prayer with confidence by saying, "And so it is." A voice booms from the sky and says, "All right already." A moment later, another huge wave appears and out of nowhere and crashes into the beach. And as the water recedes, the boy is standing there. He is smiling and splashing around as if nothing has happened. And the voice booms back again, "There, are you satisfied?" And the grandma responds, he had on a hat, you know." So the demonstration was not yet complete. And so she's reminding the big voice, the big boom in the sky, that, hey, you still have another element to provide in order to make this complete. I thought that was rather humorous when I read it. When it comes to gratitude, everything counts. Everything counts. Holmes reminds us, unless one conceives of themselves as possessing good things, they will not possess them. From the objective word of such a one, even that which they have taken away. From the objective, let me say that again. Holmes reminds us, unless one conceives of themselves as possessing good things, they will not possess them. From the objective world of such one, even that which they have been given will be taken away. And this is from the textbook on page 450, paragraph 2. And this can be a reminder for us also to not toss away compliments as if they are meaningless. Someone may compliment us on an object, an item that we're wearing, and our response might be, "Oh, this old thing." Or we may be quick to say how much or how little it cost. Either way, whichever one of those responses we give, either way, what is happening is a lack of presence in the gift that we are given. The gift is a compliment. And by dismissing the compliment, we are denying the gift. A simple compliment deserves a mere thank you. A lesson that I am continuing to practice, because there's a temptation to go into an explanation. A simple thank you, or maybe a smile, and that's enough. It's about receiving the gift from the giver and the attempt to create a connection with the giver of the compliment. And then our life itself is the ultimate gift. We are here by divine appointment. When we know this to be true, we have already received it. This is the meaning behind the statement in the Bible, "To the one who hath shall be given." We are here by divine appointment. And here's another story that I would like to share that's an illustration of life as the ultimate gift. Some of you may be familiar with this. The comedian Stephen Colbert elicited an enormous amount of public adoration when he was asked in an interview by CNN's Anderson Cooper about a plane crash that killed Colbert's father and two of his brothers when he was 10 years old. Anderson Cooper had heard Stephen Colbert say that he had learned to love the thing that I most wished had not happened. I have learned to love the thing that I wish most had not happened. Cooper asked Colbert to clarify this extraordinary statement. And Colbert replied, "It's a gift to exist, and existence sometimes comes with suffering. I didn't want it to have happened. However, if you're grateful for your life, then you have to be grateful for all of it. You cannot pick and choose what you are grateful for." And I think this is a great reminder, at least it's a great reminder for me to be thankful for everything. And I'm going to offer some of that in our call to action this week. Be grateful for everything that occurs in our lives. And so gratitude offers us many lessons that we can apply in our lives. We can approach life with a grateful heart, thanking the universe for our existence. And I love this simple statement from Meister Eckhart. He says, if the only prayer you ever say in your entire life is thank you, it will be enough. Thank you, it will be enough. And then from the Bible in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 18 is written, in all things give thanks. We can ensure this by practicing circulation as a way of means of giving from our overflow. So we give gratitude from our overflow. And as we give thanks in advance, we do so showing the full belief that the good of God is with us each and every day. And then our life work and our personal application for this week. List things before you sleep. No, last thing, not list things. List is a part of this. Last thing before you sleep. One thing you're grateful for, and hang with it for a couple of minutes in deep gratitude. So in other words, call to mind something you're grateful for before you fall asleep. Sleep in that frequency. Sleep in the arms of goodness and connection all night. And then start your day with gratitude. When you wake up, speak a word of thanksgiving for something or someone. Begin your morning with an attitude and ride that current all day. And this is another key. Be thankful for the crummy thing. Be thankful for one crummy thing per day. Just one. We don't have to go through and list all of the crummy stuff. Just pick one to be thankful for. Surrounded with the energy of gratitude. We've all had the experience of something bad happening. And then when we look back, we see the perfection of it because that bad thing that happened. Because that crummy thing happened, it made me who I am. It's the idea, rather than be afraid of the bad thing and resist it, be grateful for it. And when I think of, maybe a crummy experience that I've had in my life, when I know that I have moved through the emotion connected with that, is that when I retell the story, I tell it as a fact. I tell it as a point of history of something that occurred in my life. And so be thankful again for all things. In all things, give thanks. In all things, give thanks. And so our affirmation for the week is, I am grateful for the abundance that is already mine to share. Let us say that together. I am grateful for the abundance that is already mine to share. And as we turn within for prayer this morning, I invite us to just take a few moments to acknowledge current news events that popped up on my screen this morning. And then that was a shooting in Monterey Park, California, which is down in the Los Angeles area. Apparently, there was a celebration of the Chinese New Year, and an active shooter opened fire at a place where a celebration was taking place. There are also protests in our sister city in Atlanta of a police activity and the stories that are coming out around that. We also have the ongoing war in Ukraine and other hotspots in the world. And so let us call to mind the awareness that the abundant life of God, the precious life of God, the intelligence of God is in all of this activity. Even though we may see it and think of it as something bad that is happening. And yes, it is not a positive experience. And there are situations that we don't always know all of the detail behind. And yet we can give thanks for our awareness. We can give thanks for our compassion. We give thanks for the love that we send out into these communities and to in all of the places of the world where so-called bad things are happening to good people. Knowing that in God, there is no good and bad. There are just events that happen. I know this to be true because I know that there is one life. There's one power, there is one intelligence that is happening in all places and at all times. And I am grateful to know that I am one with this power and this intelligence. And this is true for me. It is true for all people everywhere. Each one an individualized expression of this pure essence of love. And so I speak my word of healing this morning, a healing for our planet, a healing for our individual response as people of faith to now swim upstream in consciousness and to engage in our own prayer, engage in our own spiritual mind treatment, engage in our own affirmations of declaring that there is peace and harmony in this world. And I know that there is peace and harmony in this world because it begins in my heart and in my mind. Someone wrote a song that says, when there is peace in my mind, there will be peace on the earth. And so this is what I am declaring this morning. And I invite you to affirm this with me, that there is peace in my mind, therefore there is peace in the world. And I can say that there is peace in my mind and know that there is peace in the world because I am that place where God shows up. And if God shows up in me as peace, that peace radiates out. It does not stay within me. And as each one touches one, it begins a ripple effect, and that there is a mighty wave of peace that rushes over this entire planet. I give thanks this morning for all of the blessings that are in my life and in the lives of those that I know and in the lives of those that I don't know, because God is no respecter of persons. I bless all who are experiencing transitions in their lives, however that may be showing up, knowing that the love, the very essence of God, the very essence of life, is riding each one over that wave of doubt and fear, and inviting each one of us to let go and to let God. I bless places where individuals are gathering in the name and nature of the one truth, the one love, in the way that they define it for themselves, recognizing that there are many paths to God, and that we all travel these paths together, realizing that everything leads us back to that place where God shows up. For those who are facing a health challenge, I speak a word of blessing and healing, knowing that the life of God is the life that I live. It is a life that we each live. And in this life, there is healing that takes place. And so I embrace the healing for myself. I embrace the healing for each one, knowing that we are divine expressions of this one love. And so in gratitude, I sing a song of gratitude. I thank God for it all. In deep, deep gratitude, knowing that my word has set a new cause in motion, I release it now back into that law, which always says yes, knowing that it is done well, and it is done completely. And I invite us to affirm this together by saying, and so it is. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for the way that you just show up on the planet. It is now time for our offering, time for us to share the abundance of the goodness of God in other ways in our lives. For those who are here in the center, we have a donation box on our hospitality table where you may leave your donation. For those of you who are viewing online, we have various ways to contribute at the center, and those will appear on our screen following our affirmation of abundance. So now let us say our affirmation of abundance. I recognize the presence of God within as the source of my abundance. Out of my abundance consciousness flows everything I could desire in life. With gratitude and thanksgiving, I now participate in the flow of uninterrupted abundance. This prosperous experience is evidence of my abundance consciousness. And so the ways to participate is to mail in your donation to the center. Our address is on your screen. You may also text to give. That number is on the screen. And you may also donate through our website, montereycsl.org, and that information is on our screen. And perhaps several of you, like myself, are very excited with our Social Security increase. Unexpected income. And one of the things we ask here at the center is if you are willing and if you can include it in your budget to tithe on your unexpected income. And so, it may just be a couple of dollars, but everything helps as an expression of gratitude. Everything contributes to the good and to the flow of circulation. Next week, we will have a guest speaker, Reverend Tony Bradford, also known as Cousin Tony, one of our staff ministers who is doing outreach work for us in the Palm Springs area. And Tony will be speaking on celebrating life as. And so I say thank you to our virtual community that has joined us this morning. And again, a reminder, if it is your first time, please drop a note in the comments section and let us know where you are viewing from. And remember to hit the like button. Know that we love you. We appreciate you. We thank God for you. We are grateful that you are part of our experience.